my goodness gracious. Look at that. Wow. You know, there are some dishes that never go out of style, and smothered chicken and gravy is one of them. And it's one of my favorites. And so today, we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you some techniques that are going to raise your chicken and gravy to a whole nother level. Let's get started. First of all, I want to talk about the chicken we're going to be using today are chicken thighs. Boneless chicken thighs. Now, you may be, used to cooking it with breast. That's fine, but I have found that this recipe really does so much better with thighs. Thighs actually, in my opinion, have much more flavor, okay? And as they cook down, they just get, they're just so much more juicy. I'll take them over breast any day of the week. So we're using thighs today, and I've got basically about 8 boneless thighs. All right, they're small, so we're looking at probably about 2 pounds max, well, maybe 1.5 pounds. All right, probably feed 2 to 4 people. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is we want to season them with kosher salt. All right, and cracked black pepper. And before we even get started, I'm going to get my burner going here. And then we're going to get some black pepper, just like that. And then the left hand, I'm going to flip them over. Keep the contamination safe. All right. One of my favorite recipes. This brings me back to the 70s, to be honest with you. I remember my mom making chicken and gravy, smothered chicken and gravy. Oh my goodness. Usually had some sides of maybe some mashed potatoes or some rice. Oh, brings back so many memories. And we always use thighs. And I tried this with breast before, and it just isn't the same. Okay, so we've got our chicken all seasoned up really nice. I'm going to take some extra virgin olive oil, as we always do. I'm using a stainless steel stainless steel chicken fryer. A saute pan would work just fine as well. Whatever you have available to you will work just fine. We'll coat the bottom with some extra virgin olive oil. And of course, we want to make sure we see the waves going in there so we know the heat's going good. And then what I want to do is I want to coat these with a little bit, just dust them a little bit with some all-purpose flour, okay? Not a lot, just a light dust, okay? We lay them in, and when we lay them in, I want you to remember to go away from yourself so you don't splash yourself with the oil. All right, so I'm gonna get all these in here, and we just pat them dry because you don't want them to be gummy. You just want to get, this is going to create a nice crust. This is what we're really looking for here. With the boneless thighs, I found that a little crust makes all the difference in the world. So, and that's why that flour will do just that for us. And what we're doing here is we are literally developing that first layer of flavor that I talk so much about. And so we want to get these to get nice and brown. That's the key. And that is where we're talking about time and temperature and technique. We do not want to rush these and flip them over right away. You want these to get nice and brown. So you just want to be patient and let these sit in here and get nice and brown. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this burner down to more of like a medium. So they just do their thing and get nice and brown. And that's the whole key here. Developing a whole layer of flavor. And it's all these types of tips and techniques and tricks, that I talk a lot about in my ebook, Cooking Made Simple. I talk about temperatures, what proper kitchen equipment to buy, seasonings, what seasonings to use, what's not to use, all kinds of stuff. If you would like a copy, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Now, while these are getting brown, we're going to talk about what makes this smothered chicken so amazing. Today we're going to be using some onion and some mushroom, which is really going to make the smotheredness all about it. And We'll also be adding some chicken stock. We're making a pan gravy. Unbelievable. We're gonna let these go for a couple more minutes. When we come back, I'll flip them over. I'll show you how we get a nice and golden brown, and then we'll continue on. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, now come on in here. I want you to see what we've got going on here. I talked to you about this before. You see how it's starting to cook on the sides here. You can see that it's coming up on the sides. That's when you know it's time to flip. A little secret. You see, look at that. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Wow. Again, just time. This was about 8 to 10 minutes. And there you go. Look at that. I mean, just that right there, just you can already tell we got something good going on here. And that's all because we took our time. Okay, let cooking cook. Let everything come together. This is developing all kinds of flavor on the bottom of this pan. So when we get to the gravy and the smothering of this, the flavor is just gonna pop because we've created that first level. What's on the bottom of this pan is golden, all right? Now, once you flip, only need about 2 or 3 more minutes, and you can go ahead and remove, because we'll finish the rest inside of the sauce. So we're gonna head remove these. They are 3/4 of the way complete. And so we just put them on a side dish like this. Perfect. And as you can see, look at that. That is all gold. I mean, that is absolute flavor looking at us and jumping at us. So I'm going to immediately add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And I know, let's talk about this for a second. A lot of people have said to me, stop with the unsalted butter. What's the difference with unsalted butter? Nobody buys unsalted butter, salted butter. Okay, look. Unsalted butter versus salted butter, it allows me to tell how salty this in dish is going to be, right? If I had salted butter, now I've got to adjust all my seasonings and everything that I'm doing. And I just think when you have unsalted butter, I have to worry about any of that. So if you can get unsalted butter, I promise you, it's the way to go, all right? You won't have to worry about, because once you over season something, especially with sodium, it's really hard to get it out. So just be careful with that, okay? Unsalted butter is really the way to go. All right, so now we've got our nice bits kind of deglazed up there with the butter. I'm gonna add about a 1/2 cup of yellow onion. I've got 1 cup, well, we'll do a 1/2 cup of mushrooms. And the whole key here is, what I want to do is, I really want these vegetables to pick up what's on the bottom of this pan. And this is the second layer of flavor. We don't want them just to become translucent. We want to actually get these to get really, really nice and coated and brown. Look at that. All right. So again, we have on medium-low heat here, and that's fine. So you just want to let this go. And while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of thyme, 1 teaspoon. Okay. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of tomato paste. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic, the equivalent of about a clove. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Yellow mustard would work, but I prefer Dijon. And 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is for the umami burst of flavor. It is so important. Like that. And now, we just keep moving this around And you can just see, and I've talked to you about this also before. People often ask, why are you adding tomato paste to a hot pan? It actually changes its flavor. It becomes a deeper, kind of rustic flavor, and completely and totally changes the game in your end result. Cooking that tomato paste and getting it to pick up all those bits. And you can see, look at the bottom of the pan now. Look at that. That's what we're looking for. The onions are sweating out, and that onion is picking up and picking up all the bits from the original chicken. All right, last but not least, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour to create what some would call a roux, but technically a roux is flour and butter cooked together on equal parts, blah, 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 blah. Basically, this is gonna be more of like a slurry or a pan sauce, and that's what we're doing. And we just wanna get this all together like that. Perfect. And again, on a low simmer is what we're looking for here. We don't want to burn any of this. We don't want to burn that flour, but we do want to cook the starch out of the flour. And to help that, we're going to now add our chicken broth. And we're going to put in 2 cups of chicken broth. Just get our whisk here. And we go around and around and around. The color is fantastic. I love it. And what we want to do here now is we want to get all that starch, that flour cooked out while this is reducing down to a nice pan sauce. So we're going to give this about 5 to 10 minutes maximum on a low heat. You're going to see this thicken up nicely. Of course, we will taste it then to see where we are on the flavor profile before we add our chicken thighs back in, and then we'll finish it up and plate it up. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. All right, come on in here. Look at this. This has been about 10 minutes and it's reduced down beautifully. Look at that. See the coat, the bottom of the pan is nice and clear. You can see it's thickened up nicely. To see just how thick we're getting, and look at that, coats the bottom of the spoon. That's what we're looking for. And now I'm going to taste to make sure we're okay on the flavor. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so, so good. Little bit of kosher salt, a pinch, a little bit of black pepper, and then a very, very pro chef technique. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter at the very end. Okay, this is going to give it some extra creaminess and really, I'm going to turn the heat completely off. Just like that. And now, last but not least, we're going to take some parsley. We've got to have some earth in there. We're going to use about a 1/4 cup. Look at this. Oh my goodness. And now we take our chicken and we're going to finish this last little bit inside of this beautiful gravy. And it's already looking. And then this juice here, where the chicken drained, don't let that go to waste. Good stuff. And then we just turn it around like this. Look at that. Now, as I've always said, this is not the whole game here. The last step is, again, back to patience. The heat is completely off. If you had a lid, you could put it on. I usually just leave it off. But what I want to do right now is I want to let this rest before I plate it up, okay? There's plenty of heat in here, but you want all of the flavors, okay? We added a lot. We had the Worcestershire sauce for the umami. We had the Dijon mustard. Of course, we had the chicken broth. We had the tomato paste, the garlic paste. All of this is in here now with the fresh parsley. And now we've got the chicken thighs that are just about completely cooked completely now. But I want them all to come together as a family. So we'll let this rest for about 5 minutes. When we come back, we'll plate it up. We'll pour the sauce over. And we got old-fashioned smothered chicken thighs with gravy, onions, and mushrooms. Be right back. All right, come on in here. Woo, my goodness gracious. Look at that. Wow. Smothered chicken thighs with gravy, onions, and mushrooms. Oh my Lord. All right, so let's go ahead and take it to the plate. Just get it out like this. A little housekeeping here. And then, right before you take it to the table, to impress all of your family, friends, strangers, and neighbors, we just take this sauce and make it smothered just the way Mama taught me. It's 1974 all over again. Wow. Look at that. Unbelievable. And there you have it, my friends. Old-fashioned smothered chicken gravy with onions and mushrooms. Oh, finished off perfectly and so juicy. You have to try this recipe. I cannot wait to hear from you in the comments. I want to know how yours turned out. You know I'm going to respond. So let me know what's going on in your kitchen. I am Chef Brian. I'm so glad you watched this episode of Chef Brian's Kitchen. I will see you next time right here. And until then, remember as always, eat well and stay healthy.